The Rock and Rock Vegas, people Rock Vegas, Kevin Owens, so much more. Yes, all of it to cover on today's Rings and Rambles. If you're watching on demand or watching live, hit the freaking like button already. What is the problem with you not hitting the button? I know it seems so stupid. Every piece of content on the internet asks you to hit the button, but we're like them. Slaves to the algo, I tell you, as the kids say. I'm Kevin. That is Nick Harkson in Sacktown, Sacramento, California. So much going on here today. We'll be talking The Rock, his role at WrestleMania. We'll be talking the contract status of one of the biggest names in WWE, currently involved in one of the biggest storylines. We'll talk about that. A lot to get into. A lot to talk about. News from Backstage Pass. This being broken by WrestleVotes on Backstage Pass. You can subscribe to Backstage Pass for just $5 over on the Patreon at patreon.com/Backstage Pass SK. Just go to Patreon, search Backstage Pass SK. We'll have that news. We'll talk about Brock Lesnar today. We'll talk about those different things. We want to hear from you guys. So get in the comments below. Shout out where you guys are watching from. Want your wrestle takes. If you're with us, you're a part of the show. We'll constantly put your comments up on screen. We're not just doing the super chats. Super chats are great. We will take them. You'll jump to the front of the line.
Yeah.
But we'll get everybody out there. It's okay.
Right.
It's a freemium model. You know, some people are already saying they're angry with us. Andrew Pitts already gave us the Facebook angry face. All right, but thank you to Confe Maldonado for the likes. I appreciate that. Let's get into the news here from Backstage Pass. Broken just within the last hour. You can listen to this brand new show with WrestleVotes. Secured, verified, Scooperoonies being pulled from backstage here at WWE and AEW. And I want to get your take on this story, Nick. The Rock and his status at WrestleMania. He is still in play. What do you think here? A few days ago, Dave Meltzer saying it's not clear. He'll do something. It may not be a match. Dave's report was somewhat vague. He didn't have clear details on it. Everyone thinks I'm crapping on Dave. I'm not. But got to say this, though. WrestleVotes saying that he is indeed in play for WrestleMania in Las Vegas in April of 2025.
Yeah, you know, The Rock took those rumors and he said, "You can shove them up your candy." You know what?
Did he say that?
I don't know if he said that quite like that, but but yes, The Rock is still on track to be on the show at least one of the nights for Vegas, maybe both nights. Who knows? But I'm excited. You know, I don't think that they would have brought The Rock out to confront Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns if there weren't plans for that. Yes, there are some big major PLEs before WrestleMania that they could do a match in and still not have The Rock show up to WrestleMania. But I think the plan here the whole time was to have him there. And yeah, he just shut down those rumors. Love to see it. Love to see The Rock back in action, hopefully, at this upcoming WrestleMania.
Keep slamming the likes, everybody. We'll do a little bit of a Q&A there at the end and get more of your comments so that you guys truly take over the conversation here.
Yeah.
Some people saying, what's going on, Adam? How you doing? Hey, guys. Hey, guys.
Adam.
How are you? How are you? Hello, 60-second wrestling. Nick saying the reasons is, I know off topic, people talking about Raw, noticing a taped Raw this week, a 2-hour Raw. He says the reason Raw is moving to Netflix is because Netflix is desperate. They're losing a lot of subscribers. No, I wouldn't say Netflix is desperate. They just had the most consumed hours of on-demand video in a single week in the history of content this past week. So I would say they're okay. When 27 million minutes of video is consumed on your service in 7 days, pretty sure you're doing all right, bud. I'm pretty sure you're doing okay. So there's that. I wouldn't say it's the case. That'll happen in January. Back to the topic of The Rock. Justin with a comment here. He be the count the match. He be to count the match. I don't know exactly what you're going for there, Justin.
Maybe a special guest referee. Is that?
Oh yeah.
Maybe?
So maybe The Rock will be involved. I think The Rock wrestles.
Me too.
I don't think you get The Rock out there doing many more of these. the idea at WrestleMania 39 that they wanted, that The Rock has gone on the record saying he wanted it, that Roman Reigns has said that he wanted it, that this was talked about for years. They wanted to do it 2 years ago in LA when it made a lot of sense to have Rock, a big movie star, be in a big match. And it didn't happen for whatever reason. And I think maybe it was because of the deal of the company being sold. And obviously The Rock probably was involved in that.
Yeah.
And that I could see that makes, in retrospect, you kind of understand why that was held off.
Yes.
Pull it off until we complete this deal. We get The Rock.
Makes sense.
Shout out Brazil, Bruno. How you doing? What part of? Thank you very much. São Paulo? Huh? You out there? Let me know. So I think The Rock wrestles. Now, the problem is when he came out at Bad Blood, he teased the motions and everything like that. I've done several different videos. I know you've probably done some voiceovers on this week as well. Is it a triple threat? Is it one-on-one with Roman? Is it him going after Cody? This is what we're going to be talking about until April, at least until January. We know for sure.
Yeah, as of now, last week I think I said it. I'm still rolling with it. I think that they will do a triple threat match here. All three of them were out there. He could just attack Cody, and maybe he comes after Roman and says, "Get back in line. We're going after the belt, getting it back in the bloodline." But I see this more as Roman and The Rock have beef. Cody and The Rock have beef. Cody and Roman have unfinished business. It seems like so. Triple threat match, I feel like, is the way they are leaning towards this. We'll find out, though. Could go a bunch of different ways with this.
Mm-hmm. I'm asking you guys, how does this play out in the chat? Let me know. I want to hear from you guys. Chimov coming in here. Chim, where are you coming from, Jim Moy? I want to hear from you. Rock versus Reigns or Rock versus Cody, or will it be a triple threat WrestleMania 41? Rock versus Reigns is still a special match.
Yes.
I still think that's a really, really special match. Also, The Rock, some people were noticing he wasn't as fast physically as he was, but he was in a tag team match, and people said he was huffing and puffing, and the guy's north of 40. He's wearing a lot of muscle. He has a lot of size on him. I'm okay with him not being explosively fast.
Right.
I thought he worked a very fun match for what he he can do, and he was never like a Bryan Danielson type wrestler.
Yeah.
Like he was always he was very closer to like a more athletic Hulk Hogan. I would describe. That's no shot at Hulk Hogan either. So it's all right, and he can pull that stuff off. I think he can do that. But Cody, I think it's the world versus Cody right now. You're waiting for Roman to turn on him, and some point they're going to do something like that. It looks like they're going to have some uneasy alliance going into November with the bloodline issue. But after that, then it's all bets are off. He's got to take on Gunther. He's got to deal with Kevin Owens. It's the world versus Cody. Is this going to break Cody? I think that's going to be the interesting thing. We haven't seen that. Is Cody going to get broken by this idea of like, now you're all against me? This is the same thing it was before. I think you'll see some turns there.
I agree.
Want to hear from you guys. Want to know how you want this. Cody, Rock, Reigns. How does this play out? Now, obviously, we're going to be talking about this a lot, but I don't mind having this early conversation here. People saying, Justin saying the Undertaker's going to show up. Well, the Undertaker showed up last year, WrestleMania.
That's true.
We have a bunch of run-ins with this. We already have a bunch of supporting players in this because Solo's going to get involved.
Oh yeah.
This is a storyline that involves so many different people, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to see Jacob Fatu probably get there. I mean, it's going to be a lot of outside interaction coming in once they do finally get this going.
All right. Yeah, we'll be talking that Brock Lesnar news here in a minute. But I want to remind you, get Backstage Pass, $5 a month. That's where we have the info on this. It's available on patreon.com, Backstage Pass SK. You want to search Backstage Pass SK. You can see that right there on the screen. Maybe take yourself a screenshotty there and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys as well to everyone at Q101.com. That's where I'm at today. I'm gonna be on air tonight. Q101. You can stream that anywhere. We're giving away tickets to our big shows. We have our shows. We just announced some Twisted Christmas, the Byline Bank Aragon Ballroom. We got Cage the Elephant one night.
Oh wow,
that's pretty cool, right? All American Rejects.
Nice.
Okay, next night. The Smashing Pumpkins with Billy Corgan, the president of the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yes.
AWOL Nation is on that show.
Hey.
And then on Friday, we have Bush, which is pretty sweet with Gavin Rossdale. Q101.com. Tickets are available there. Thank you to them for letting me use the studios here at NBC Universal's NBC Tower. So, yeah, don't worry. I'm not owned by WWE. They don't know I'm doing a podcast in the building.
I think think it's always fun when you bring up the Smashing Pumpkins on here because it is wrestling news at the same time. It's
distantly,
kind of. Yeah.
distantly, it's wrestling news. Yeah, I guess you could say it's wrestling news.
Yeah.
Promoter of the NWA releases rock album is a proper search engine optimized title there.
Yeah.
Love to hear from you guys. Let's get into this Brock Lesnar news. Now, a few days ago, on Backstage Pass, we have two different Q&As. We do a full Backstage Pass show with WrestleVotes. WrestleVotes is no shot at anybody else. WrestleVotes been dropping some real big scoops here.
They have.
Thank you to them. And if you get those on Backstage Pass, you get them for early. Now, we did a Q&A. Now, in the Q&A, Bill Apter, beloved Bill Apter, he has sources within WWE. He says they would absolutely be interested in having Brock Lesnar come back. Now, Brock Lesnar is unfortunately tied to the very vast and disturbing allegations and federal investigation into Vince McMahon and the lawsuit against Vince McMahon. Now, he was named, kind of indirectly named, not by name, but they said he's a former UFC champion, so everyone's going to know who that is. And so he's kind of brought into it, though he isn't directly accused of some things. He's certainly involved. He's just kind of like connected to it.
Right.
But it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good that he would like kind of share some correspondence. It's very questionable. Is that fair?
That's fair.
So that's all I'll say on that because it's kind of a separate conversation. That's still a developing story. Now, the problem with Brock Lesnar being involved in that is that really messes up his WWE status. Now, Bill Apter says 100% they'd be involved. WrestleVotes, who has active sources within WWE, says yes, they would be into it. They would be into the idea of bringing him back. Now, Fightful Select says they followed up with sources within WWE and says there is no plans at this time.
Right.
So certainly it's, hey, we'd be into it. But then Fightful follows up, tip of the cap to SRS and his crew as well. Thank you for wearing the cap. I have a cap.
I tipped it.
No, I'll put it on over the headphones and that'll tip. All right, so there we go. But I have to say, it's Brock Lesnar, huge name. I mean, if he's absolved of any wrongdoing, but certainly questionable behavior, you can't deny that the guy's a special attraction.
Right.
Very, very special attraction. And that a lot of people would pay attention to it. But would it bring in a negative attention to WWE under this new regime of TKO, Endeavor, and Triple H leading the creative team?
Well, I think that they're a little worried about that, and that's probably why there's no plans for the immediate.
It's a fair thing. It's a fair thing to say that too.
It's definitely fair, and they want to make sure that his hands are completely clean, or that everything is kind of out of the picture. He's free of everything before they bring him in, because it will be a bad look in some people's eyes for sure. Now, of course, you're going to have the fans who are just going to be happy. They don't care. They're just, Brock Lesnar's back. Woo. But, you got to deal with the times today, and there will be backlash if he comes back soon. Because of
I think even if he was absolved of stuff, there would be some level of backlash to it.
Yes, I agree.
And that isn't, like I said, I'm not making any judgment of whether or not he's guilty of anything, because he hasn't legally been determined guilty of anything, specifically Brock Lesnar. Let me keep it frank there.
Right.
But with Brock, it's like he's also a special featured attraction. He's been that way for the past 10 years. And you're going to get him on these high money contracts. He's only going to appear a handful of times. He's only going to wrestle a handful of times. And that has kept him special, even though he's done these kind of like short matches that don't live up to the hype in some regard. But a lot of them have. A lot of them, I would say a majority of them have been special things.
Yeah.
Even when he had matches that weren't better than others. Is this something that is going to motivate him to want to come back and do some big matches? He's a guy who, if he doesn't want to do something, he does not do it.
Right.
And that isn't a shot at him, just the way it is. This is Brock. He's a very, I don't want to call the man moody, but the guy has his sense of how he wants to do business.
Yeah.
Is he going to trust WWE to come back under these circumstances?
Yeah, I mean, those are all very fair questions. One thing that I do want to point out, if he did come back, there's somebody who's been away for a little bit as well. What if Paul Heyman and Brock came back together? Now I know that we're discussing if Brock's coming back at all, but we haven't seen Paul Heyman in a while. maybe there is a plan for the future that Paul comes back with Brock. I don't know.
I'm putting it out there in the chat to everyone. If just very hypothetical, okay, and I'm not absolving the legal stuff that's still kind of standing there.
Yeah,
but it's worth noting legal things as far as we know. His name is involved, but he isn't accused of any physical, transgressions.
I still think they're going to take their time with it until it kind of, yes, they have to, I think.
And the names tied to us are anchors to bring more gravity for a legal process and stuff like that too. So this may be something where it's like, this takes years and years and years. And he's just like, okay, I'm done. You know? All right. I don't know if he's a guy who wants to have a huge send off or anything like that either. Too.
I don't think he cares to have one.
He likes having matches. He's a guy you see him in the ring. Doesn't like traveling. Doesn't like being around people. Doesn't like the process of having to go somewhere to do something. Once he's there, he'll go out there and he'll feel the crowd and have a good time. But everything else in between, getting in the ring and filming this or that, not a fan of it. So he's kind of put that out there. Chinmoy saying, if Lesnar is coming back, who should he go up to first? Gunther. Gunther was the plan for WrestleMania 40. And do you think he will ever get a world title again? From India. Thank you so much. We have so many fans in India, obviously. So much of Sportskeeda based in India.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for downloading the app. The Sportskeeda app we talk about our Patreon and everything, but the Sportskeeda app is huge. I don't think I've ever been on a bigger platform. I didn't understand how big it was until I was on it.
Yeah.
So I was like, here's how many people see you on this. I was like, whoa. I was like, oh my God. So shout out to everybody in Sportskeeda land. Shout out to Manu, Pratya Ghosh, Aranava, Rohit Rajan, Rojat Nath. I'm bringing up names behind the scenes that really help us out. But shout out to
those guys for real. They do great work.
Yes. But back to Brock, I think it'd be a wide open book if he's, I'm not saying this thing's going to be cleared out in 2 months because it's a federal investigation. And then the Janelle Grant case has been paused.
Right.
With that. So that whole thing is weird. The whole thing is just a mess, right?
It is a mess.
Mind you, WWE's gotten as much distance on this as they can, but they're involved. They're still named in the case. They're still this. They're still, if there's a resolution and Vince McMahon feels the most heat from it, WWE will still feel heat by association, even distantly. They'll feel some of it, significantly. So
definitely.
So we'll see. I do think they're trying to do as best they can under the circumstances, and everyone's still going out there to put on a good show. How we doing, Mexico? How we doing, Carlos? How you doing? Hola to you as well.
Hola.
So appreciate that. And of course, you guys got a new TV contract with AEW and Fox Sports. So good on that. Nice. So let's talk some more WWE news. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens. This is another one from Backstage Pass. Has reportedly been very, very close, or at least has had some type of handshake deal with WWE for a new contract. The terms of the deal, not exactly clear. Now, he signed his most recent deal with WWE right before the pandemic, right when this company that is very well financed, All Elite Wrestling, came into the game. Mm-hmm. Tony Khan, president of the NFL team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, deep pockets, was able to really present a brand that could really pay wrestlers a lot of money, get them on a big platform. They just signed their third TV deal, technically, and potentially more TV deals. So they're well-financed. There's a lot of people in All Elite Wrestling that want to work with Kevin Owens. He has a long history with the EVPs in the Young Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of history there. And it will be a whole bunch of fresh matchups for him. And he could be Kevin Steen again, and all these different things. He was an independent star. I want to say indie darling. Darling seems dismissive. No issues to anyone who's a darling out there. Kevin Owens has become he's like a top 10 WWE guy, even though he hasn't had the title in a long, long time. And everyone says he lost to Roman so much. He worked with Roman. He worked with one of the top guys in the business. I think he's going to be in one of the top. Outside of Rock, Roman, Cody, outside of Punk, Rollins, he's going to be in maybe the third biggest program. of wrestling in some way.
Yeah.
I don't think if he signs this new deal, he's not going to be, But I mean, look at the math. I got to have Stone Cold's last match and headline WrestleMania, and then the WrestleMania after that, he got to headline it and have like this huge tag team match with Sami Zayn.
Yep.
So if he gets creatively, he's gotten to do some big things. Everyone's like, "Oh, he hasn't the title." Are you forgetting that? Like he got to have the match with Stone Cold, the match, that anybody in wrestling would want. I mean, I get it. There's certainly. I mean, if he hasn't hit the free agency market, a boatload of money would be offered to him by All Elite Wrestling just to get him to go over there and not go back to WWE.
And, I think that's where WWE, they are stepping in. They're like, hey, we got to get this contract done. Let's at least get a handshake here, a mutual agreement, because they don't want to lose KO. He's been such a big time player for them over the years. Like you said, the Stone Cold match, just won the tag team titles a few years ago, or at the last WrestleMania, not this last WrestleMania, the one before that was Sami Zayn, but they're keeping him in a prominent role. Maybe he had a few months here and there where he wasn't in the main spotlight, but now, good storyline here with Cody Rhodes. They're putting it up there for one of the biggest stories here in WWE right now. So I like where they're going with Kevin Owens. He deserves it. He's put in the work over the years. I think that they might put a strap on him here sometime soon within the next year. We'll see. He's definitely that caliber of wrestler, but they're smart to get at least a mutual agreement to where, hey, no chance to go to AEW because they will dish out that money. Like you said, he's got plenty of, relationships with the wrestlers over there, people who want to have matches with them. But so very smart on WWE to at least get a mutual agreement. And we'll see what the details are when they finalize it.
Once again, click the like button and let's get more reactions. We'll do a big Q&A here at the end if we crack through that number we're hoping to get here soon. So crack that number, hit it really hard. Let us know what you think. Get the comments up. Rage here. Trey Go Gators saying, is Brock Lesnar coming back? We did not tell you he's coming back. We said there are people in WWE that are open to the idea, but Fightful Select reporting that there is no plans currently to bring him back.
Right.
So there that is clear. So to clarify that here. Back to Kevin Owens. Like I said, big program. They haven't cracked the surface here. Interesting scenario. You brought up the Cody storyline. He went on socials yesterday, as we talked to you here on the 17th of October in 2024. He's claiming he's going to hold some information hostage over WWE. They've been building to this since Bad Blood when they did the turn. I don't want to say he turned heel, but he turned on Cody. All right. He turned on Cody. And he says the reason he turned on Cody has been somehow suppressed by WWE. And his reasoning is very, very serious. And he tried to cut a promo on SmackDown and they cut the microphone off. And they cut this in. And then you have Triple H saying that this is going to be dealt with internally. And then you have commentators saying this is an internal matter. So they're doing the subversive thing. And it's very interesting because it's got a lot of people talking. And it's just absolutely 100% working. Yeah. And this is just puppetry, guys. Like everyone's mad about it. I was like, I love it. They did this with the Bray stuff. What can we do that's subversive that makes you pay attention and activates a primary audience that WWE really has? Do you say, like, what are they hiding? Well, yeah, they're hiding something, but they're saying, well, just look over here.
Yeah.
Go find it.
Yeah.
Just go find it. And that's intriguing. And I think a lot of the WWE fan is kind of is activated by that psychology, especially in social media when so much is just thrown at you. They say, like, wait, what about that? People love Easter eggs now. And they're kind of just telling you, you're going to get an Easter egg. And I have an Easter egg, and I'm going to crack the egg open, and they don't want me to. And he basically said in this video that he posted online, they have until Friday to share this information, or I will.
I love it.
What happens on Friday? What happens within 24 hours of you and I talking?
I mean, we're going to get some kind of information, but I think that this is all genius. I love how they're doing this, hiding some information. I wouldn't
call it genius.
Okay.
It has to really play out. It, like, whatever they reveal has to be effective.
Well, it does have to be effective. Then it can be genius. But I just love the fact that they are, making the fans want more, hiding this, but then showing you a little bit here and there, having the fans be a part of what's being posted. Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
I'm ET, and you're just giving me a little Reese piece to follow you into another room, dude.
exactly. So it's they know exactly what they're doing here, and I think it will pay off. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I can't wait for SmackDown tomorrow night. I hope that we do find out a little bit more of what Kevin Owens is talking about. But yeah, it's just a good story. It's the chase that we're all looking for. Got fans wanting more, and that's what you
It's
want.
so many storylines tied to Cody Rhodes too.
That's true.
He's got
There's
Gunther. He's got the Roman Reigns thing that's going to play out probably into November, right?
The Rock.
He's he's going to deal with Gunther at Crown Jewel. It's in like a few weeks here.
Yeah, that'll be.
Then Survivor Series. Then the Kevin Owens thing.
Yeah.
Then the Rock. Is the Rock involved? It's like so much.
Yeah.
That like he's all coming at Cody at once. And then Kevin Owens. Do we see him anytime soon? I mean, I think it's compelling.
It is.
It's really it's clear that he's staying with WWE. I don't know if AEW can offer a storyline that's like this. Did you catch any of All Elite Wrestling coming out of Wrestle Dream this week? Wrestle Dream, by the way, very sad ending.
Yeah,
very sad ending. But they had to have a sad Empire Strikes Back ending.
Yeah.
I understand why they had to do that with Brian Danielson. But it was a very bummer ending. Bummer ending, but I understand why they had to do it. So there you go.
Yeah, it was, Wrestle Dream was good. It was a sad ending. Especially, John Moxley tried to put the bag over his head, and then they're like, no, and then he puts the bag over his head instead. I don't know. It was
didn't look as good as the first time they did it.
It didn't. No, it did not.
But it was still fun, and it was an abrupt ending, and that's the end of Bryan Danielson as a full-time wrestler.
Sad.
He'll wrestle again.
He will.
Yeah. And he's gonna get a neck surgery. Maybe that's it. It's not guaranteed he'll come back. Maybe he has this neck surgery. He's like, okay, all right. Now my last match in, my home state. There we go. And then everyone who's WWE fans will be like, you got to do it at WrestleMania. you got to come back and do all this different stuff for WrestleMania. I don't know. I don't know if he does it again, but I don't know if he feels comfortable because he couldn't get medically cleared to do Blood and Guts. He only got cleared to do a handful of matches and still was pushing it. By doing these matches. So the neck is bad. The neck is an issue. It's out there. I'm not telling you anything you can't find out. There's no scoop there. So they have that issue. Then they had Adam Cole come back.
Yeah.
And the Adam Cole situation is such a unfortunate, mind-boggling mess for AEW. And everyone's saying, they didn't handle it that great, or they because he had to come back this week and justify why he disappeared. Why at the end of last year, almost a year ago now, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That MJF, who's now the biggest heel in the company, or one of them, who was a babyface at the time, who was a world champion, who was a heel before, and Adam Cole got him to be a good guy. And then they did the first All In and Wembley together, where they were a tag team. And you defend the title. Well, that guy was hurt, and then that guy got hurt, and Adam Cole got hurt. They couldn't keep the storyline going. So let's keep the storyline going by having these masked men and who's the devil. And that did well. That got people's attention. Like, that angle worked. But the reveal was it was Adam Cole that a lot of people expected, turning on MJF. So he has the Undisputed Kingdom as a faction, and he can't get this ankle to heal, but he's still on TV. Then they write him off TV. And it's like the injury really derailed this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the crowd wanted MJF to be a heel again. So now he's back. And he has to come back on TV and make sense of a very, very logically messy situation.
Yes, it is.
Where we're supposed to cheer for the guy. People are cheering just because they haven't seen him on TV in months.
Right.
It's fun. You do that with anybody. Seth Rollins was gone. Came back. One big, oh, wow. Next night he's going off on fans, right?
Yep. It happens.
Messy situation.
It is messy.
But
confusing.
I think AEW is still in this post. We just signed a new TV deal, Glow, and we'll let him have it. We're not going to be mean.
Well, give him a little bit of time here, I guess.
That doesn't stop people from saying, I'm not going to watch it, but I saw some stuff on socials, and I didn't like it.
You always got those.
All right. Yeah, you always got those.
Yep. Graham.
Here we go. Talking about the Brock Lesnar issue.
Hey, what's
I'm
up,
saying,
Graham?
I hope and pray Brock Lesnar does not come back to WWE.
See,
He doesn't want it.
there's two tails.
WWE Crown Jewel coming up here.
Oh, yeah.
Marzizi Best says, hello, road to Saudi begin. Yes, it is beginning.
Yes.
What do you think of this show? What do you think of how these shows come together?
I think
Gunther
it'll be
versus Cody is the main attraction they've booked here. They'll put some other matches together. These
Yeah.
shows are always odd ducks. They always,
Yes.
some of them deliver, some of them are odd and feel out of canon of WWE. This certainly still feels very in canon, but they're going to do this Crown Jewel Championship thing, which is a one-off. I don't know. No King of the Ring on this one too.
Right. Yeah. You know, I like the King of the Ring when they did that, but
Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely did. I thought it was a nice little taste for the Saudi crowd and the event. But yeah, I mean, it'll be cool to see champions go against each other. Obviously nobody's going to lose their strap that they have right now, but Gunther versus Cody, we all wanted that anyways. Now it's not for a championship, but then you have Liv versus Nia Jax as well, which is probably going to happen if they both keep their titles leading up to that. But it's cool. You get to kind of have bragging rights. Who's the better champion, I guess, of the two belts, or maybe which championship will be more prestigious for the year to come if you win this match. I don't know. And if you win the match, do you carry around that belt for the year, or do you just put it on the shelf? Because I mean, you can't lose it. You can't lose it. So it's just one of those little trophies.
It stays in a locker.
Yeah, it stays. Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
you can take a picture with it. Yeah. Take your picture with it.
You get to take a picture with it.
Put it back. You don't get to
it's
take
on
it
display at the airport when you land.
Oh man. So I mean it is what it is. I think it'll be a cool PLE and I'm excited for the matches, but you know, we haven't seen the full card yet, so I can't give my full take on how it's gonna be, but cool.
Well, I mean, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is spending tens of millions of dollars on these shows through their entertainment industry. I don't know the official name. Excuse me, it eluded me. But they're spending a lot of money on these shows, and they do have some influence on these things. So you know, they wanted to have this special thing, and they're trying to make something out of it. I'll give them that. They're trying to make something out of it, but everyone's just expecting a run-in. It's Gunther with the World Heavyweight Championship versus Cody with the WWE Championship. It's the aggrandizing of a champion versus champion match, right? Trying to add more to it. And you know, it's just is Goldberg who got into it with Gunther, which was, he got a huge reaction when they did that in Atlanta at Bad Blood. Is he going to come out and cost him the title? Is Cody going to have to deal with Kevin Owens going all the way to Saudi Arabia to deal with this, right? You know, and Kevin Owens, one of those guys, has been iffy about going to Saudi Arabia. CM Punk not going to be in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Goldberg, he don't mind going there. He was featured prominently on every single one of those shows. Yeah, and it's playing out a certain way. Vince Russo, bro, on the most recent Writing with Russo, which is over on WrestleBinge, he says, "Bro, I hate to say it. I hate to think that is. Are they gonna have Sammy screw Gunther? Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
Gunther. I don't hate to think that at all. I'm sorry to disagree with you, Vince Russo. I'm not sorry to disagree with you. I'm sorry if it bothers you if I disagree with you. But Sami Zayn kind of running in would be a wild one. That'd be crazy. But yeah, it's just like, who's gonna run in? You know, it just feels like, who's gonna run in? How are you gonna make that interesting? Who's gonna run in? You know, so there you go.
Do you think with women as well? Do you think that Tiffy time comes in and disrupts the match? Because I know that they've been teasing
that cash in so much.
Right.
Is it diminishing returns when they tease a cash in so much? Like the Money in the Bank, she's missed Money in the Bank at the moment. There we go, full context. But I mean, is it? You know what I'm talking about? Like, feeling it, but I'm like, Nia Jax, I don't want to see him. You know, the match with Bayley was not her best outing. You know, it was all right. She had some fun moments leading up to it. The match itself was kind of noisy. and the pace was up and down, and it didn't have this flow that you kind of need for a big monster champion type match.
Right.
And Bayley was doing her best, but there's just some things that just didn't click in it. And then the Tiffy stuff. So it was just like, all right, I think get the title on Tiffany, and figure out what you want to do at Nia after that.
I agree. I think
do it on TV. Do it on TV.
TV would be good. Yeah. Huge TV pop.
Yeah.
That would be a good way to do it. I like that. Yeah. And have her turn on Nia though. I think that they did tease that, she tried to take it.
Had a baby facing Nia's she's got some real heat at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good heat or bad heat. She got that heat though.
She got that heat.
So definitely that is what's going on in the world of wrestling right now. A whole bunch of exclusives. My CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre breakdown video. For you guys watching on YouTube, that is linked in the description. Go check it out. A couple thousand of you have already watched it. I know you're a busy man. You just dropped a great video on Dominic Mysterio that just came out, and about how he became one of the most booable guys in WWE, which is a really fun one. I got to see that script before you did the VO on it. And it's a really fun script. So those are on the channel right now. If you check out Sportskeeda Wrestling, SK Wrestling on YouTube, those are dropped right now. And the 17-year-long journey of Jey Uso to championship gold, that is up. A new episode of Enter the Bloodline with Afa Anawahi is also on. And how WWE almost ruined Cody. All those videos are up right now. That's right there. We just described well over an hour of awesome content you can consume for free, or you can go get that bonus stuff right now on the Sportskeeda Wrestling Backstage Pass. So go to patreon.com. People saying Matthew Larkins asking what's going down with Kevin Owens. All right, so we'll give you the scoop. We did this a little bit earlier for joining us, Matthew. I don't like doing this. And ask some questions. If you guys got questions, we'll wrap up with these too. By the way,
yeah, let's do it.
Kevin Owens. Not happy with Cody Rhodes. Attacked him. He's going to have some I felt right about doing this. Cody said something to me you're not supposed to say. And they're really delaying the reveal of what Cody said or what Cody did to turn him. Now, Kevin was just mad at Cody, who he's had a very friendly rivalry with, but mad at Cody for choosing Roman, who terrorized him for years.
Yeah.
For choosing him as a tag team partner to take on the Bloodline. I think it's something involving that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Cody kind of broke and said, dude, you're good, but you're not this. He'll say something like that. That's the part I think is storyline interesting. Real life interesting seems like he's signing a new deal. We kind of cover this, but I mean, why wouldn't he stay with WWE? I just don't know. I get where the matches would be really, really interesting, really, really cool. But at this point in your career, barring the injuries you've already had to, endure, the type of life you want to have, where you want to be on the other side of being an in-ring performer, and you want to be a personality or something. Kevin could do that.
No,
absolutely. He could be the guy at a panel, selling characters and storylines. He could be a guy training. He's a smart guy. I've interviewed him, I think, twice. He's a really, really smart person. And I think there's some people in the wrestling business that don't get enough credit for their longevity coming from their activated intelligence, while at the same time having the recklessness you need to. All right, I'm going to run and do a moonsault through a table. He has all those characteristics you want, while also at the same time doesn't look like a if you showed me, I pitched this idea for a video. We're talking about doing it, of getting people that are non-wrestling fans and showing them pictures of wrestlers and just seeing what a casual person who doesn't watch wrestling, who isn't in the same loop like you and I are watching the show or listening to the show are. Yeah. Showing them pictures. And I don't want to, it's not a shot at Kevin Owens. If I show you a picture of Kevin Owens, I don't think you would say he was a wrestler. You would think he's a referee, or he's in the ring crew, or he's a supporting character. Maybe he's a wrestler, but he's not a big time. People would say that dismissive stuff if they were just a casual fan. I'm not saying that the right way, but I've worked with Kevin enough to know that. But at the same time, he looks like a fighting version of the fans.
Yeah.
And I think that's very genuine.
I think that's a huge appeal of Kevin Owens as well. Yeah.
And he's a legitimate badass.
Yep.
He can mess you up. He's not a
Yep.
pushover. He reminds me of like Mick Foley in a lot of ways.
I was gonna say that as well. Yes, I mean, WWE hasn't had a ton of guys where they're not this sculpted, muscly type dude, but Mick Foley was that, and Kevin Owens kind of reminds me of that. Obviously, they're different wrestlers and whatnot.
He's gonna get a great deal. Whatever this deal is, to not go to AEW and to stay with WWE, even if it's not as big of a deal, it's a very good deal.
It's gonna be good.
People asking how come you're on Thursdays now. We moved to Thursdays because there's other stuff on the channel. So we have Enter the Bloodline, which drops on Wednesday. We have a lot of news that started to break on Thursdays.
Yes.
So we kind of wanted to like follow up on that. We kind of saw the news cycle recently. And then then there was the launch of Backstage Pass. So we felt like, all right, well, when does the shows drop on Backstage Pass? So we come out and we want you guys to be able to enjoy Backstage Pass, and we kind of do a synergy. We do a free show to promote things behind the paywall. I'm so sorry. But guess what, guys? I don't know if you're angry about behind the paywall stuff. It's just modern content. Everything's pushing to a freemium. We have to play the game like everyone else. So that's why we went to Thursdays, to be able to promote a stock of new shows that have been dropped on Backstage Pass, and also play on news. And more news is kind of breaking on a Thursday near the end of the week, and then we get into SmackDown and a pay-per-view. So it was kind of just it's the way it bangs out.
It's all about the game and how you
play it. So there we go. A lot of fun, exciting stuff.
Oh, you got somebody in the background there, Kevin, staring in, kind of scary. Oh, they creeped away. There they are.
Joey, you're on camera, buddy. You're on. Howdy. Everybody, this is Joey Dominic doing a run-in here from Q101. Joey Dominic, a legitimate athletic wrestler. None of this show pro wrestling. What's your weight you're wrestling at right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
I'm heavyweight.
You're a heavyweight?
Heavyweight.
Why are you deepening your voice when I ask you that? That is not your natural tone at all.
No, dude, I was the lightest weight possible. They had me down at 106.
Get in the shot. Let people see the specimen.
Yeah, what's up?
Let people see the specimen,
the
body.
See what a real athlete looks like.
Joey Dominic, I know you don't follow the pro wrestling.
I don't follow
the WWE. Can I ask you this?
Do.
Who is your favorite professional wrestler? I love asking people who are not wrestling fans who their favorite professional wrestler is. Let me get the camera on you proper. Who is your favorite professional wrestler?
So a lot of my friends watch WWE or AEW or any of the affiliations.
The affiliations of abbreviated letters, yes.
Stone Cold is iconic.
Oh, hell yeah. What?
And LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
Okay.
LA Knight's.
All right.
Specifically because of his theme song.
Do you know that I was having a conversation with LA Knight, and then someone threw a chair at us while we were having this conversation?
Oh God, I was gonna
Didn't it break your
microphone? Nick, who's on camera with me in California. Nick was very aware of this, like the day of. I think I texted you right away about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was talking to him, and then AJ Styles threw a chair at us. And I had those DJI mics that we have.
Oh, right, yeah.
I brought those with me to Philadelphia, and like one of them, he was holding it and just dropped it, just ran over to fight him. I'm like, I gotta kill him. Oh, wait, there's an angle. There's wrestler guys doing wrestler stuff. So
they're doing the real thing.
They're really doing it.
That's awesome. And no one got no blood.
No blood.
I feel like if I got hit by a chair from
no, actually, they did bleed. They did bleed. They
good.
started to brawl at this like press conference, and that was in like this like side room. You remember this? AJ Styles and LA Knight, and then I believe AJ Styles got busted open during that.
Yeah.
So that legitimately started to bleed. Oh, moments later.
I was just gonna say if you bled, because if you got hit by a chair.
Oh, if I bled, I would have been like
honored, right?
Back up the truck, dude. But I also would have been like, come on, brother. I brought my razor blades with me to the press conference just in case.
I could take a bump. Put me out there.
I asked a real hard question. See you, buddy. All right, I'll see you, buddy. All right. Definitely. We're busy, dude. We're busy. We got Twisted this week. We had a whole bunch of different stuff. So definitely check out those shows. This is my buddy Joey Dominic.
Nice.
My little buddy tag team partner here.
Yeah. Didn't mean to call him creepy.
A proper
he was standing in the back of the window, and I was like, oh.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know someone was creepily like standing behind me doing that there.
You're just staring in there, so I had to call him.
Yeah. People bring this up here. A proper ECW moment for 2024. Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
So that'll do the show for us today. Thank you guys so much for supporting it. We had a fun little run in there at the end. I'll be busy as well tomorrow. Get this. Tomorrow I'll be on air in Rockford on 104.9 The X, Chicago. No, Rockford, Illinois. I'll be on Minneapolis, 93X. I'll be on Q101 at night. I have to tape that, I believe. And then I'm going to be on AAW's Next Level, a new level. Live color commentary.
Hey. But you're going to be prepared.
Josh Alexander from TNA Wrestling is going to be on that show. And Isaiah Moore. That's available on highspots.tv, worldwide pay-per-view. You pay $15, but you get the whole month subscription as well. It kind of works like Peacock. It's an independent wrestling version of Peacock. A lot of great stuff on there. Like
that's awesome.
20 plus years of matches. I brought up Kevin Owens. There's a match there's a show Kevin Owens did that where he's on AEW, and I do some interviews with him, and he makes fun of me to my face, which was interesting. So I have wrestlers throwing chairs at me, people making fun of me to my face. Good old time. So we're having a good time now. Plug. It's a good show, guys. See you in the next one. Thanks so much, Graham. Also, by the way, if you guys are with us live, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. We're going to do this show in the 1 o'clock hour every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. That's 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Nick, plug your stuff. How's the 2-piece going, buddy?
2-piece is going good. We are in the studio recording new music as I speak. Well, not as I speak because I'm not in the studio recording right now. But yes, we're recording new music. We're looking to release an EP here, probably early 2025. Don't want to release it in the Christmas. So we've been told not to do that. Okay,
You're not doing a reggae Christmas album.
We're not going to do a reggae Christmas album, even though there is a good one by Jacob Killer Miller.
I love how I brought up a random topic to you, and you were already ready to go with that.
But yeah, 2-piece is doing good. Go check us out. We got plenty of music over all the platforms: Spotify, Apple Music. But that's TWOPEACE, like peace to the world. And you can go follow me personally on the Twitter, on Instagram at Nick_Harkson. Yeah, go give me a follow. Say what's up.
All right. Thanks, guys. If you haven't done so, hit that like button as well. If you're watching on demand, jump into the comments. We love hearing from people in the comments as well. I love hearing from you guys. Do you enjoy this? Fun little Rings and Rambles. Lighthearted fare. All right. Yeah. Also, if there's any big breaking news, we're going to start doing some breaking news live streams and stuff like that. So definitely keep an eye out for that. That's why you turn those notifications on. I know you have a bunch of notifications on your phone, but if you just want the wrestle stuff, we got all of it. All right. Remember, when watching wrestling, you must do, critically, the most important thing you can do.
That is.
Please. For your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your grandmother, your grandpappy, your mama and your daddy. You got to do this one thing. What is it?
Enjoy wrestling.
Now I press the button.